night.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Pretty good. Thanks for asking. This last week I was so busy. Well, my life is a little crazy right now. So at the end, I don't have enough time, and now the problem at Friday that I didn't have energy or light at home. So by the way, we are going to continue with the topic that we are learning. That's the
Mhm.
present perfect tense. We have already did some activities with present perfect tense and past simple, and I see that is easier now. So now we are going to continue with the next topic that is present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the presentation. Let's see. This is okay. Okay, before the start to present perfect continuous, we have some adverbs. Some common adverbs that we usually use with present perfect tense. Okay, so we have adverbs like still, yet, already, just. So, how you can see, we can use still when we're talking about a situation that continues now. So this is often longer than expected. This is like aún. So it's an action that was not expected because of something else. For example, it's really late and I still working. So in this case, we are talking that action that takes longer than expected. So in Spanish is like es tarde y aún estoy trabajando. So still is like
Okay.
situation that continues, but this gets longer than expected. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We use yet when we ask if something has happened. In this case, this is more by questions and actions that is expected, but it has not happened. So, yet has a similar meaning in Spanish that aún, but this is by questions. By questions. We have to go. Are you ready yet? So, tenemos que irnos, ¿no? ¿Aún no estás listo o lista? Are you ready yet? So, yet and still has a similar meaning. That Spanish like aún, but yet it's by questions. We have another example. I haven't done my homework yet. In this case, we have an action that don't happen. Haven't done. So we use yet to questions and when the action don't happen. Yes. So it's like aún, todavía, aún, todavía. So we use it on negative statements to indicate that something has not happened, up. And we use yet in questions to ask if something has happened up, has happened up at the present time. Yes. So yet, negative statements, questions. Still, affirmative statements. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And we have already, we use already two actions that has happened sooner than expected. For example, I think my best friend already knows about the surprise party. Already it's like, yeah, how do you say? Yo pienso que mi mejor amigo ya sabe acerca de la fiesta sorpresa. So we use already to show that something has happened or something or someone knows. To show that a situation at the present moment um, happened on an earlier time than expected. So we are talking that the situation at now happened earlier than expected. Pasó más temprano de lo esperado. So that's the meaning to yet. We have another example.
Okay.
I'm the first. I already finished the task. Soy el primero. Yo ya terminé la actividad, la tarea. Okay. So the activity happened sooner than expected. And just. We use just to talk about actions that happened recently on a short time ago. Just. Just is like, could be like justo, yes. Or maybe right now, like ahora mismo. Something that happened a very short time ago. A very short time ago, or starting to happen at the present time. For example, the phone just rang. She had just finished the book. So just is like el teléfono acaba de sonar. Ella acaba de terminar el libro. So it's like something that right now, ahora mismo, o hace poco. So we are talking about that just is for doing something that finish very soon, really, really soon. So we use just to indicate that something happen in a very short time ago. Something happened recently. Just. Questions?
No.
Okay. So now we have summary chart. Now the uses already, still, and yet. Already, something that happens earlier than expected. Some examples: I'm already at home. Do you want to eat? No, thanks. I've already eaten. When you arrive, I will already be there. Already by questions and affirmative sentences. It's 6 o'clock and it's already dark. Is it already dark? It's only 6 o'clock. We don't use already on negative sentences. We have to use yet. And we have a compare a comparison with already and yet. Have you already finished? That was fast. So I didn't expect you to finish so soon. I didn't expect you to finish so soon. And the other with yet, we have you finished yet? I don't know if you have finished your project. So I want to know. So it's really different, the use of already and yet. Already, this is when you didn't expect it that the activity finished so soon, and the use of yet, it's when you wanna know, you ask, because you don't know if this end. Okay, easy.
So.
So still, we use still by something that is continuing and hasn't changed or stopped. For example, is it still raining? She's still living with her parents. When I called, she was still in bed. We use still to show that we are surprised or upset, especially in negatives. For example, I'm still waiting. I still can't understand why you lost. I still haven't found my wallet. So we use still by something is continuing. It it hasn't changed or stopped, or when we wanna show surprise or upset in negative statements. We have a comparison too with still and yet. She still hasn't called. In this sentence, we are surprised or upset. Other difference to yet. She hasn't called yet. So in this case, we are trying to guess if the person she call soon. And the last one, yet. We use yet in negative statements. So we use in negative to say that something we are expecting has not happened. For example, she hasn't called yet. I'm waiting for her call, but she hasn't called. I haven't finished my homework yet. He's not here yet. So that it's used on negative statements to say that something happened has not happened. And the other use is in questions. We use that to ask if something we are expecting has happened. We don't know if this ends, so we wanna know. So we have some examples like, is she here yet? Have you finished your homework yet? Has he called yet? So already it's yeah, to something that happens earlier than expected. Yes. But a difference
This
already and yet it's that you use already when you didn't expect it that this end on a sunnier time. And we use the difference to already to yet it's we use it when we don't know if the activity ends, if this already finished. And you wanna know, so you have to use yet. And still, we use still to show that you are surprised of or upset of something. And the difference yet is that you're trying to guess if this is gonna happen. So that's the difference already still in yet. Okay, this is clear.
okay.
So
It's more clear.
okay. Other adverbs we have for and since. We know that we use for when we are talking of a period of time. And we have already learned this topic in some last classes. We learned that for this is when we have a specific period of time, maybe years, months, days, hours, minutes, centuries. It's when we use for. But the difference to for since is because we use since when we are talking about a specific point on the time, on a started point on the time. In this case, we are talking about a time or a date like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, midnight, on a specific date like Monday, Tuesday, or maybe a month. But we are talking about the name of the month like March, April, May, or at a specific point in the past, like in a specific year, okay, 1982, or on a specific starting point, on a specific when we are talking about on a specific moment on the past when I left the school. So since I left the school, okay, or since the end of last century. Do you have any questions about this?
No.
Okay. This was easier because we have already learned this topic. So, okay. Now we are gonna continue with present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. Okay. What is the present perfect continuous or present perfect progressive? Describe an action to restore in the past and is still happening or relevant now. So, for example, we are describing an action to restore in past, maybe I don't know, when you have a breakfast, okay, and is it still happening or relevant now? So maybe it's relevant because someone is asking you about the breakfast, or is it still happening because maybe, well, it's still really late to say that you are taking the breakfast. Maybe it could be better to say that you are taking the dinner. No, and maybe this is still happening. You start the dinner and this is still happening. So we have here this tense is used in two main cases. When we have an action to start in past and continue until now. So often with an adverb showing the duration. So we know that the action that start in past and continue until now. Yes. But we usually join these ideas with a adverb that showing the duration that this activity continued. And a recent past action with ongoing effects. A recent past action with ongoing effects. So we can see the effects. We can see that this happening and still happening. Foresee that because it's happening not now, at the moment. These verbs typically use dynamic verbs. Okay, this specific tense use a specific verbs. When we are talking about present progressive, present perfect progressive, we have to use a specific type of verbs. The specific type of verbs are named dynamic verbs. So we are talking about verbs that you can do an activity. For example, like learn, listen, and read. Or maybe verbs that has a process, like change, grow, or shrink. Or maybe when we have bodily sensations, like ache, feel, and hurt. Transitional events like arrive and leave, and momentary occurrences like hit, jump, and kick. So in this case, we are saying that we use present perfect continuous only with dynamic verbs. Because if I have stative verbs like see, smell, astonish, the correct tense that you have to use is present perfect. No continuous, no progressive, present perfect. So if it's a stative verb, present perfect. If it's a dynamic verb, present perfect, continuous. Okay? So, en Spanish usamos presente perfecto continuo con verbos dinámicos que hablan de actividades, procesos, sensaciones en el cuerpo, eventos transitorios, ocurrencias es como tipo acciones al momento. Utilizamos presente perfecto progresivo. Tenemos ejemplos como learn, listen, read, change, round, shrink, ache, feel, hurt, arrive, leave, hit, jump, and kick. Pero si tenemos verbos estáticos como son ver o leer, astonish is like quedarse pasmado, como tipo de sorpresa, sorprendido. Entonces, cuando tenemos este tipo de verbos estáticos, tenemos que utilizar presente perfecto, no presente perfecto progresivo. Okay. ¿Se puede utilizar presente perfecto con los verbos dinámicos? Sí, pero también lo podemos utilizar con el progresivo. Sin embargo, no podemos utilizar verbos estáticos en presente perfecto progresivo. Okay? This is clear?
Okay, yes.
So now we have the uses. We use the progressive tense to express two long actions that start in past and continue until now. For example, I've been living in Ireland for almost 4 years. Yo he estado viviendo en Irlanda por al menos 4 años. So we are expressing a long action that started in past and continue till now. We use present perfect progressive to express to our recent actions that have clear evidence or results now. So we have an example like you've lost a lot of weight. Have you been going to the gym? So this is really recently. You see the person and you see that the person lost weight. So in this case, you ask, have you been going to the gym? Because you are seeing the evidence, the result of the action that the person is doing to lose weight. Next one use is when we talk about to typically used for shorter, more temporary situations. For example, have they been learning English this week? So maybe this is a temporary situation. Yes. So that's when we use progressive tense. Yes.
Okay.
And the last one is a important advertisement or note. We always use the present perfect simple, not continuous, with the verbs believe, know, understand, like, dislike, belong, and own. So, present perfect, simple, without continuous, no progressive. On stative verbs, we have other stative verbs like believe, know, understand, like, dislike, belong, own. So, if we have this type of verbs, stative verbs, we don't use a progressive tense. Okay? And it's the same with, for example, present continuous tense. Es lo mismo como en el presente continuo. Nunca utilizamos, cuando hablamos de un tiempo continuo o progresivo, un verbo estático, porque no decimos, por ejemplo, en español, yo estoy gustando. Yes. Yo estoy entendiendo, o es me gusta o no me gusta, entiendo o no entiendo. Entonces, siempre que tengamos un tiempo progresivo o continuo, jamás utilizamos los verbos estáticos, ya sea para
Okay.
presente continuo o presente perfecto continuo, porque son continuos, son progresivos, ¿vale?
Sí.
Okay. The grammar. Okay, we have the affirmative structure. When we have affirmative statements, we have to write first subject, next the auxiliary verb that is have, not to have. Next one, we have other auxiliary verb too that is been, the verb in gerund, and the complement. Do you have this auxiliary verb have? This is because we are talking about a present perfect. But when we wanna change the present perfect to continue tense, we have to use been. So that's why we have two auxiliary verbs. The first one is to indicate a present perfect, and the next one is to indicate a continuous tense. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. We have examples like she has been cooking since morning. We have been calling you for days. He has been cleaning the room. They have been learning English this week. So this is by affirmative statements, affirmative structure. But what happened if we have negative statements? We have to put the not or add not next to the first auxiliary verb. The first auxiliary verb is have. So we write a not next to the have before the been. So we have examples like she hasn't been cooking since morning. We haven't been calling you for days. He hasn't been cleaning the room. They haven't been learning English this week. It's clear? At the moment, it's clear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, two questions. Like in other tenses, we have to write first the auxiliary verb. So remember, the important auxiliary verb is the have, because we are indicating that is a perfect tense, present perfect tense. So we write first the auxiliary verb have, continue with the subject. In this case, next to the subject, you are gonna write a been because the been is another auxiliary verb. Continue with the verb in gerund, the complement, and the questions. When the question mark. For example, has she been cooking since morning? Have we been calling you for days? Has he been cleaning his room? Have they been learning English this week? So this is the grammar to present perfect tense. Do you have any questions about this topic at the moment?
At the moment, no.
No. Okay. So before to end the class, we have already 7 minutes. So why not we write only one sentence? One on affirmative way, one on negative way, and the next one obviously in question. So you have to write one sentence, you change the sentence to negative way and question way. Yes? The
Yes.
question. Okay.
Finish.
Let's check. What was your affirmative sentence?
You have been running in the park all morning.
Okay. Negative.
She has not been studying German for 1 year.
Okay, she hasn't been. Okay, and the question.
Have you have they been speaking in this week?
Can you repeat the verb? Have you been
Speaking?
speaking an idiom? Speaking a language?
Yes.
Okay, so speaking English, speaking French. You have to write this now. Or in this case, when you are talking about speaking
Mm-hmm.
to talk with someone, we don't use speak because speak is this is yes, in Spanish is hablar, ¿no?
Uh-huh.
Speak, hablar, decir, no sé, ya, cuando, no sé, das una orden, cuando dices algo, ajá. O en este caso, si tú quieres decir si han estado hablando, sería lo mejor como si han estado en contacto.
Okay.
¿Ok? Entonces, decir estar en contacto, a lo mejor sería como be in touch. Have, have, era you, have you been with ing in touch? ¿Han estado en contacto?
Okay.
¿De qué han estado hablando entre ustedes? Have you been, entonces been in touch this week? Okay,
Okay. Okay.
okay. Do you have any questions?
Not really.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, if you don't have comments, we are gonna end the class by today. We continue at Friday, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, see you, take care, and bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care and see you.